Yo, 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 what's going on, you guys? It is Coach Ike, and we have another episode of Everything Uncovered, where we come and have professionals, DBs, guys in their fields who share their journey, give back some gems, and help you guys inspire you with their story, man. I'm truly excited for my guest today that we have. As you know, prior to us getting started, talk about the things that we have up and coming. Um, Salute to all those guys who are just reporting pros, college, even our youth getting right. Um, if you're interested, okay, if you are interested in working together, all right, group training is still going on Tuesdays and Thursdays, 7 p.m. You guys can DM me, Coach Ikes, on DB training on social media. DM me, okay, as well. If you're interested as far as coaches who want to be interested or looking to get into coaching, whether you are a DB coach, defensive coordinator, all right, or want to become a trainer, our program is still available. We have a pilot program where you get access and learn the things of how to speed things up, how to maneuver in this coaching business, as well as a trainer to make money for yourself and avoid the pitfalls and speed it up your clientele and how to attract your clientele and make money the in the most positive and seamless way possible. Okay, so those are the things that we have going on, as well as if you guys are interested in working, you're not in the area, we have our DB memberships, okay, which is virtual, all virtual. Then we have the hybrid, so you definitely will not be missing out. And we also have our products, our digital products, okay. So if you are looking to improve your game, it's press, ball skills, football IQ, all these things. Make sure to reach out. We have these things available for you. Um, so make sure y'all tap in, okay? Coach Ike's DB training on all social media platforms. All right. So our guest today, man, it's a truly special guest. I've been knowing this young man for a while. He has blown up all on social media. He is, is awesome to see him grow as a person and what he's doing now. Um, we've been tapped in for the longest as I played with his family members, and he's extremely gifted, very high Q, gets a lot of work done as far as he's very productive and he has the back end of showing on social media. Um, I think you guys will definitely love this episode. Make sure y'all tap in. Without further ado, I want to bring up Adonis Harrison. So, for those who don't know, man, this has been a long time coming. We done talked about this. We done talked about this, but we finally made it happen, man. I'm sure you guys have seen this gentleman, man. He is blown up all on social media, man, doing some impactful work, impacting youth. He got adults who probably not even active like that, but all over the world. He is just killing it, athletes, everything, man. Man, we got Adonis Harrison, man, but I know him as Bug. So when you guys hear me say Bug, that's what I'm talking about. Man, Bug, man, appreciate you getting on, man.
Yes, I appreciate you having me, for real. And little do y'all know, we've been trying to set this up for the longest. He been on me about it, and I've been BSing, so that's on me. But I'm happy. I'm happy we here. So let's
Yeah,
make it
man.
shake. Let's make it
Yeah,
shake.
man. So we got some ties, man. I actually have known his family for the longest. I seen Bud grow up, so I'm extremely proud of him, man, and what he's doing, bro. And let's go there, bro, because I know you born and raised in Cali, from Pasadena, essentially. But bro, how is the upbringing, man, for you, where now you are where you are now?
Shit. So I was always in the crib with my mom. You know what I mean? So I grew up at my grandpa's out in Pasadena, and I was always with my mom. You know what I mean? Raised by mom and dad, but I was with my mom because my dad was out playing pro ball. You know what I mean? So Well, my memories, he was always away. We'd go see him, and when I was with him, it was a great time. You know what I mean? I was on the field with him all the time, etc. But I was with my mom a lot, and it was more so one of them things where I was deep into sports from the get, especially because of my pops, deep in baseball. That's why baseball is my favorite sport because of him. But it was just like a situation where I come from a family of athletes. You know what I mean? So I came from a family of athletes. So sports was what was rooted in from the get. And heavy into it all the way up into high school, moved to Upland. Once I got to Upland, out there, it was such a cultural shock from coming it not even a culture shock alone, but just even the magnitude of the talent that I was facing against. You know what I mean? Like you come from the San Gabriel Valley in which you got a bunch of athletes out there, but then you go to the IE at that time, back in what was that? That '09 to like 2013, 2014 time. Man, bro, you playing against 20 to 30 NFLers, you know what I mean, in a season. So it's just like it was definitely a shock for me, but bro, it bred me to where I am now. So
Nah. So you make the move, make the transition out, and then I was like, bro, I didn't see Bug for a minute. Next thing I know, you enlist, man. So
yeah.
what was your mindset? Because there's a lot of kids who I've coached or they transition out of high school. They're not sure what they want to do. They say, hey, coach, I either want to enlist or whatnot. What was your thought process for you? And then what was that experience for you there?
So for me, that's a great question. That's a great question. And I talk to a lot of the athletes, the young athletes that I train now about this too. For me, and I'll be completely transparent, I was coming off my high school year, right, my senior year. Did great in track, was going to state in track. I pulled my hamstring, so I didn't end up getting going to. I didn't end up getting a race in that state meet up in Fresno, but did great in track, phenomenal. And then in football, I had little small school offers out in the Midwest. You know what I mean? But my grades were bad, so I couldn't even leave anyway if I wanted to. So
Mm-hmm.
that was off the table. So I was gonna go JC. I was gonna go JC. I remember me and my pops went to where did we go? We went to Chafee. We went to Chafee because that was next door. That's like
Yeah.
PCC. You know what I mean? And we went there, went to the meeting, and I wasn't messing. Do you mind if I curse in here, or should I keep it
Nah, you
PG?
go. Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, I wasn't really fucking with football at the moment. You know,
Mm-hmm.
I wasn't feeling it. Seeing how big the dudes was, and keep in mind, I tore my league up in Upland. Like I was doing
Yeah.
my thing, but I just wasn't really messing with it no more. So in my head, I knew it was like a little light switch. I'm like, yeah, I'm not really rocking with this. So I was playing baseball throughout college. You know what I mean? Hadn't picked up a bat in years. Started playing baseball. Went to PCC, and it went okay. It went cool, but
Mm-hmm.
I just knew at that moment, man, I'm like, I'm not going to the league. I'm not going to the MLB. I'm not going to the NFL. I don't even want to go to these highest levels of these sports. So I'm like, all right, what's next? I'm sitting on my couch. It's like 3 in the morning. I'm like, what's next for me? You know what I mean? And it didn't sit well for me that I was at home and I didn't have nothing brewing. Nothing was next. And finally, these league dreams was over for me. So I'm just like, okay, let me figure it out. And I wanted to be a police officer. It was something I was interested in, highly interested in. So I'm like, all right, cool. And I decided to take the step of military. Nobody in my family was a military, you know what I mean? So it was fresh, it was new for me, my mom, my dad. They wasn't having it at all, but for me, man, it was more so it was a crazy life decision because it was so taboo for my family.
Yeah.
But I really implore the young guys to not enlist so much, but really not be afraid to take that step. You know what I mean? Take that next step, even if it is different from what you're traditionally used to or your family's
Yeah.
traditionally used to, because it has changed. When I tell you enlisting in the military, as much as it was ups and downs in there, but I was a policeman in there, so my job was tough. Other people
Mm-hmm.
have it easy, other people have it harder. But as much as I went through in there, bro, it has changed my life, my kids' life, my life for the better. So, I mean, yeah.
Got you. And in what ways? Because I talked to a couple of teammates. They have gotten into it late, so they didn't do it coming out of high school. They did it after playing professionally and stuff like that.
Mhm.
They talk about the benefits, like Arnett, man, it's all these great benefits.
Yeah.
And when they was breaking it down to me, I was like, you know what? it actually seems like it does benefit the kids better than going to college.
Mhm.
You know, I'm not going to share
Mhm.
my opinion about that, but getting into debt and stuff like that, it actually seems like as a career, it actually makes more sense. So, could you share the benefits of what you got from enlisting and being in there?
Okay, so I'll go deep into that. So for me, it was, and I had already read up on this all prior to getting in. This is what attracted me to it. I understood, all right, I can go to school for free. I
Hmm.
don't have to be in debt when I get out. Everybody I know and everybody I see are paying off student loans. They're drowning in it. It's fucking their life up, their health up because they're so worried about paying these things back and they can't even live properly.
Yeah.
So I understood that I can go to school for free. I wouldn't owe any money. And when I got out, they'll even pay you a large amount to go to school. So for
Hmm.
me, it was understanding the benefits behind it from schooling, from getting paid because I had never had a real job prior to the military because it was all sports. So getting paid, it was schooling. And then once I got in and I got a little older, had my daughter, I'm like, damn, this health insurance is like, this is like the grand scheme of it all. I'm like,
Yeah.
okay. So they give you that, and I still have that. Me and my kids still have that. You know what I mean? Like I don't have to worry about none of that. And what else? From the standpoint, because I wanna make sure that this registers and hits people who are from the age like 18 to like 24. Because I went in at like age 20, like 19
Hmm.
and a half, 20, I want to say. So I didn't go in right after high school. I went in young. I would say for me, man, like I still get paid on the back end from the military because of all the things that I went through. Um, I still have the education benefits. Currently, I'm in school for free, I'm about to get my degree paid for cybersecurity. You know what I mean, which allows me to have a six-figure paying job. Like, bro, I'm talking. My kids got the healthcare, like I mentioned already. Like, dog, it's such a setup for when you're still that. I'm 29. When
Yeah.
you're 28, 29, 30, bro, it puts you in such an amazing place. And I get my house. I could get a crib without putting down all this crazy money. Like, dog, it's the best. It has the craziest amount of benefits, and you only have to be in for 3 to 4 years. So
Yeah. Yeah.
yeah,
Nah. When my boy was breaking this all down to me, I was like, man, you crazy. I'll play
yeah,
sports. I'm like, I'm done with coaches. People telling me I have to be somewhere. I gotta do something. But
yeah,
when he was explaining it to me, I was like, for these young men and young women who, they want to go to a better situation. They want to get out. They don't have somewhere to go necessarily as far as living and stuff like that. That's like, it makes sense. And I'm
yeah.
like, you would be in a better situation. And like you just shared, man, all those benefits. So I definitely appreciate you sharing that, man.
Of course,
Um,
of course.
so, you know, you come back home, and what made you decide like, hey man, I want to become a trainer. But not only that, because when we start industries, right, when we get into things, you don't know what to stick with first. So
Yeah,
what made
yeah.
you think like, hey, I want to do what you're doing now? So what was that thought process from what, okay, I'm back, I want to become a trainer, to
Yeah.
now let me translate to what I'm doing now and niche down.
So for me, it was. I answered in two parts. So for me, it was the whole time I was in the military. I remember, like, and this is vivid. I'm not making this up. I got in 2015 in the winter of 2015 in December. I remember graduating school. I mean, graduating basic training, which was just real quick, and then I got into my police training. Right, my police training took about 3 to 4 months. It was excessive. That shit was tough. And after I graduated police training, I get to my real base out in Colorado, and I'm finally working a real job, being a policeman. Right, and I remember being on shift. I worked nights all my whole term. And I remember being on certain shifts. Whenever I was posted somewhere where I had time to like write or do something, I'd do it. So I would sketch out I would sketch out my gym and how I wanted it to be. And in my head, I remember on breaks, when I was doing training on breaks, I was like, damn, I want to do something with training with fitness. Didn't know exactly at the time, but I remember this was fresh in too. And I'm just
Hmm.
like, it just hit me. I don't know what did, I don't know why. It hit me though. And I knew for a fact. So I'm sketching shit out on a nightly basis all the time. And people will walk up to me like, what you sketching out? And I'll tell them, and they'll just kind of like be whatever about it, right?
Yeah.
And I'm just doing that shit on the daily. And so once I get out, it was like wasn't thinking. I wasn't thinking about training necessarily. I got out and I was like, okay, what's next? I didn't know what was gonna happen. I didn't know what was going on, right? And I started working, had some bullshit job, started
Mm-hmm.
working and going back to school. And I'm just like, yeah, I gotta make something happen. I gotta figure it out. And so I got a job. That's what happened. I got a job at the gym. I got a job at Gold's Gym and started working there at the front desk. It's front desk, basic job. I'm just checking people in, right? And one day I look at the personal trainer, see the personal trainer. I'm just like, how much money they be making? And I'm looking at him. I'm like, I would love to do that. I always was interested in fitness anyways. And I just started checking it out.
Yeah.
Didn't think nothing of it, Arnett. Didn't think nothing of it. And this is all within, I'm telling you, I got out in July of 2018. And man, this all happened in a matter of like 2 to 3 months. And so I get the job at Ghost Gym. That happened. Get a better job somewhere else doing some security stuff that translated from over from the military and Air Force. And I'm just chilling. And then one day I'm just like, yeah, I'm about to start training. I'm about to start training. So I train my brothers and his friend and their friends. Train the whole group of them for free. This is every single day during the summer. I would work my night job. I would stay up 6 a.m., 7 a.m., and I would go and train them at Jackie Robinson, at Mirror, up at the cages, whatever it may have been. And we just grinding it out every day. I'll be tired as hell. And then yeah, man, it turned into a real thing. Like it turned into a real thing after that. And I ended up getting that internship at UCLA. Shout out Derek, because I remember Arnez, it was just like, I'm not gonna say it was a dark period, and this I haven't really talked about it, but like it wasn't really a dark period for me, but it was just one of the moments where, bro, I was just so like stagnant and stuck. You know what I'm saying? And I was grinding, bro. I'm training every single day and doing my thing. And I remember laying with my daughter, bro, hot ass summer day, laying with my daughter, get a call from Big Derek. And I'm like, well, Derek Holmes for who don't
Mm-hmm.
know. And he like, Bug, he was like, what you want to do an internship? He was like, I see you posting yourself all over Facebook. And at the time, yeah, I was posting videos every day. Like I was really putting myself out there. You know
Yeah.
what I mean? So I had a lot of videos up and everybody had been seeing it catch and win. I was not big at the time. Probably just created an Instagram, bro, with like 7 followers. So like nothing was popping for me. They just see me doing my thing.
Yeah.
And he called me. It was like, would you want to do one? Darnay was in his junior year over there, I believe. And I'm like, hell yeah. So shit, drove down there, introduced me to everybody, and I got the internship. From that point on, just in terms of knowledge,
Mm-hmm.
that shifted everything for me in terms of knowledge. And then I mean even hands-on experience, bro, being able to learn how to coach and all that, like that shifted everything for me. So I did that internship from damn, I forgot what month it was, but it was like late into summer, up into season, yeah, because they were playing while I was there. So it was like to the end of their season. Hell of an experience, bro. Hell of an
Mm-hmm.
experience. I left a little early because they was too militant for me and had just got out the military shit. So it was kind of hitting home for me. So I had to get out of there. But
Yeah.
it was just, bro, it was the most amazing experience, dog. I learned so much from that point. And then it was like, okay, now that I've learned what I've learned at UCLA, to answer the second part of your question, it was, all right, what do I want to train? What do I want to focus on? Because as a trainer, you have all these different categories you could hit. You know what I
Yep.
mean? You have all these different categories, and it's a lot too. And in order to make yourself known and have a potent energy out there, you got to have certain things that you focus on. You know what I mean? And so for me, it was like, okay, let me figure this out. And I remember taking something like about 2 weeks to really like understand what I want to work on, especially as I grow my socials and stuff like that. And I'm like, okay, bet I'm gonna focus on stability, focus on all these different things because I hadn't seen nobody talk about it.
Mm-hmm.
Over at UCLA a little bit, and I was putting two and two together as I was attending different seminars and learning. Like I learned a lot after UCLA as well, but I'm like, bro, nobody talks about what translate over to speed. They only talk about speed. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? And for me, it was a new thing. I hadn't seen it at all. So that's how I got into it. I just really pieced some shit together at 2 in the morning, like, that's it right there. And then from there, bro, everything skyrocketed because it all made sense. It all made sense to people who really cared about their bodies, and then people just started catching on after that. But
Man, you really shared two jewels for me, man, and I don't think people understand this. first you talked about first starting out training. Like people don't understand, like it gotta be free first. You gotta people gotta see you putting some type of work in. But
Yeah.
people don't want to do that. Like I try to help guys who are starting out. I'm like, bro, it gotta be for free. It gotta be some work, and you gotta figure out yourself and figure out what
Yes.
you want to do, man. Um,
Yes.
that's the main thing, man. And
That's real.
they don't understand that. And then when you said niching down, you gotta be known for something. I know a lot of guys, a lot of teammates. I'm like, bro, you gotta focus on one thing. You are
Yeah.
diluting yourself. You
Mm-hmm.
want to be known for one particular thing. When you offer everything else, yourself, you might do it as a business, but yourself, you're gonna water yourself down, and people don't understand it. I'm like, man,
That's real.
focus on one thing, and everything else can blow up for you. I mean, sure, you prime example for that.
Yeah.
So man, I appreciate you sharing that, bro. Um,
Word for
so
word.
bro, what?
And real
All right,
quick,
go
man,
ahead.
to touch on that free stuff, for the trainers who are starting out, if you're trying to be a trainer, whether it's what is a DB trainer, athletic trainer, whatever it is, bro, the free services is what allows people to see what you can offer. Especially
Mhm.
you have no right to charge anybody anything if you haven't shown your value. You know what I'm
Exactly.
saying? Like it's like an NFL player trying to get this big contract if he hasn't even did anything yet. It's literally like that. You sound stupid asking for somebody's money. You know what I mean? So show your value first, and then you have the right to offer. I mean, to ask for whatever it is that you want to charge. You know what I mean? It's the best thing to do is train for free, give results. Boom. Now you got value. So yeah,
Yeah.
I'm
Nah,
big on that.
I was on that same tip, man. We used to be out working a night shift as well,
Yeah.
going straight in the morning time, man, no sleep.
Yeah.
But hey, man, it
Yeah.
all worked out at the end of the day, bro.
Oh yeah.
Always, always works out.
Hell
So,
yeah.
focusing now on the training, bro. Like you said, you got real specific. You wanted to work on stability, more functional stuff, and speed. What is the biggest misconception that young athletes have about training for the next level? Because everybody says, "Hey, I want to go to the next level," but it's like you got to put this work in to get there, and I don't think they make that correlation of what that work is, though.
In terms of workload or like type of work, what you mean?
The type of work and
Mhm.
possibly the workload.
I think the biggest misconception. This is the biggest misconception for athletes alone is they have to work they have to work. I don't want to. I'm trying to choose my words carefully because working hard. I'm a huge proponent of working hard. That's how I got to where I'm. That's how I built what I built.
Mm-hmm.
It's working too much. Okay, overworking. That look, I just got literally the reason why I was late to join this call. I was talking to one of my athletes. He plays D1, D2 soccer up north. Cool guy, real cool guy. And he called me. He's like, Adonis, this is literally just now too. He said my Achilles, the top of my calf, bottom of my calf, high Achilles area is bothering me. And first question I asked, I'm like, bro, what has your workload been? He's been training multiple times a day, every day, doing a bunch of sprint work, this, that, and other. You can't load your body up on a daily basis and expect to get better, and then also expect for your body to be able to just withstand that. Like that, people always mention David Goggins and Kobe and all these different people. Look, David Goggins isn't an athlete. Like
Mm-hmm.
he's not training to play in the season in the season for 162 games or for 16 games. You smashing helmets all day. He's not training for that. Athletes have to train different from the normal population.
Yep.
So the biggest misconception is that you have to train all day, every day. I think it should be opposite. I think you should carefully train. You should be very intentional about the way that you train. You should go about your training methods completely different, especially if you're like from that age 18 up. If you're like a freshman in college and up, bro, you don't have to establish this crazy amount of muscle anymore. It should be about taking care of your body, preventing injury, and being available to play your sport. That's what
Exactly.
it should be about. It shouldn't be about anything else, all this muscle mass, it shouldn't be about that. You've already attained that for the most part. You know what I'm saying? Even for the younger athletes, even for those athletes who are from 9 years old up to like that 16, 17-year-old range. It's about making sure that your body is available and okay. You know what I'm saying?
Mhm.
Establishing that solid foundation of stability and true strength within your knees and within your ankles it sets you up for success so much more better, especially when you get to college, if you focus on that when you're younger. So I would say keep from overtraining, man. Especially as you get older, bro. That wear and tear is so real. It's so real, and it'll have you out. If you just keep practicing, keep training, keep going hard because you're grinding. And I understand fully, I do. But bro, if you keep wear and tearing your body, and now you're out for 12 months and you miss a whole season, and now your life is completely ruined because you missed that season that was supposed to take you over the edge, or you missed that season that you were supposed to get recruited in because you was working too much.
Yeah.
Now life is over because you didn't listen to your body or go about things the right way. So that.
Man, this is big, and this happened to me. You know me, I've always been putting work in, but
Yeah.
it was more so I did all this work is because of what I assumed. I
Mhm.
assumed like, oh, you gotta put in the work, you gotta put in the work. When I actually got to Middle Tennessee and I saw the guys, because we had guys, pro guys, train up there, and I still remember it vividly. It was a cornerback. Uh, he just had hip surgery, and we was training for pro day, and we was lifting heavy. But when I tell you this dude was probably 170, but he
Mhm.
like 6'2". He said, "Man, I got all that weight on you." Bro, he got under 25 and like was benching that and was like barely lifting that. He was like, bro, he said, y'all lifting too heavy.
Yeah.
That's when it clicked, like, bro, I'm literally tearing my body down
Yeah.
each and all the time. And when I
Hmm.
get guys now, I'm like, look, bro, we not grinding. It don't take you grinding to make plays at DB.
Yeah.
You gotta figure it when you figure it out up here, you ain't gotta do all that grinding. We
That's
gonna make
right.
plays the easy way. And it's hard for guys I train to understand that because they're like, bro, this the workout, that's it. It's like, bro, it don't take this to make plays. You looking to grind, you ain't gonna be available. So
Exactly.
I completely understand because I understood it as a player, I had to go the hard way, but now I
Yeah.
understand as a trainer, like, nah, we don't need to do all this. It's gonna be times and spurts where the intensity is gonna raise, but it's not gonna be
Yeah.
every time we come out here. Nah, we don't need to do it like that.
Exactly that. Exactly that. And I just talked with Keon about it. We just talked we just talked in person. I was just with him. He went with me to the recovery lab right now. And we was talking, and he needs to take recovery more serious. So I'm sitting there, I'm talking to him, and I'm like, look, bro, word for word, what you just said, as far as learning shit the hard way, I don't want, especially the young dudes who have really promising careers, who can have some good careers. I don't want them to learn the hard way. And that's
Mhm.
the dog. You get to your sophomore year, you have a good year freshman, you get to your sophomore year, and now you learn the hard way. You get injured because of whatever it may have been that you could have prevented though.
Yep.
And now here you are telling the story of how you could have been something, but you're not because of something that could have been prevented. So
Mhm.
I really don't want them to learn the hard way, man. Not this lesson. There's shit you got to learn, but nah, not
Yeah,
this one.
you only got one body. You got to maximize that body at the end of the day.
Exactly.
At the end of the day. So, man, I want to kind of get into the entrepreneur mindset, bro, because there's a lot of people who want to get in this game as far as training or start a business.
Mhm.
What was a stress for you as an entrepreneur that you didn't even realize, but you overcome? And then what was it
Shit. Ah, shit.
though?
It was a good amount of things. That's a good question. It's a good amount of things. For me, it was initially consistency. And like, I don't want to give that bland answer, but consistency as in maintaining maintaining posting videos on a daily basis, maintaining getting up, training, putting my body through that physical train on a daily basis. Also learning the ins and outs of marketing yourself per se, yeah, marketing yourself and portraying how you're viewed to the people that you want to bring in. You know what I mean? There's so much things that go into those things I just mentioned. For example, if you look at my page, I want the type of athlete that I want good, gritty athletes who work very hard, who care about their careers and who care about their bodies, right? Those are the type of athletes I want. So for that reason, I post raw video. Like I don't post any music with my videos. I don't post, you know what I mean? It's just raw clips
Yep.
all down my page. And it's for that reason because I used to have music on my shit when it was 2019. And you can scroll all the way to my bottom of my page and see it too. But then I just transitioned because I understood what I was trying to give out. And also I work with a lot of brands too now, so there's so much thought that goes behind how I'm portrayed and the things that I put out. You know what I mean? So to answer your question, though, man, bro, it's been a challenge in terms of learning the skeptics behind just working hard. You know what I
Mhm.
mean? It's all the psychology behind business that I've been having to get myself acquainted with. You know what I mean? So that the
Now,
psychology.
I do understand. I do understand that, man. So, and you brought it up about social media and whatnot, but you have blown up, just
Mhm.
not in the States, but you're international, right?
Yeah.
So with that though, with that, was that more so intentional, or was it just because you feel like you being so organic that you have blown up so much?
It wasn't intentional to go worldwide like that. Um, I put a lot into the marketing aspect. I put a lot into like being able to really put myself out there. I did put a lot into it because I'm kind of downplaying it, but bro, I spent so much time really understanding the data behind who follows me and who was
Hmm.
following me back in 2020, 21, and I was doubling down on what I seen what worked. You know what I'm saying? And then that took care of itself, bro. I remember the first time I had got an order from like New Zealand, I was like, well, hold on, this is a mistake. I'm like, this has to be a mistake. But it just came from everything was local. Everything was local, bro. I had 600 followers, 1,200 followers. Everything was super local. I'm just like, man, how I'm gonna grow? And at the time, I thought it was a lot, which it still is. But man, I must have just kept posting my stuff. I just kept posting my stuff, working with different athletes,
Yeah.
and it just kept going. The type of athletes that I was working with, and then, man, that shit just kind of took off. It just kind of took off on its own. That's what it was. They would see the different types of training I would do because
Yeah.
that, like I said, that stability training wasn't out yet, and so they
Hmm.
see me doing it, and they were just like, people would comment on it, and then one would go viral here and there, and not even really a million views. It would just get like 20,000 views. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? And it was just like people was like, damn, okay, and yeah, it just started kind of just trickling from there.
So you talk about the marketing part of it. How should trainers think about branding themselves in today's digital space, in the social media with AI, all these things now?
Well, I would say they have to focus on what we talked about earlier, niching down.
Hmm.
You got to niche down. You can't be a yoga teacher, weightlifter, this, that. You can't be all of these things because I've seen people try to do it and they fail and they stay stagnant for like 3 years in a row, and it just
Okay.
doesn't work like that. You know what I'm saying? So niche down for sure. You don't have to focus on just one thing, but you can be, yoga, Pilates. You know what I mean? Just stay within your field.
Hmm.
That's the first piece of advice. Is that I would also say, and ask me the question again, please.
So what for trainers, how should they brand themselves now
Right.
in
Right.
today's time?
Also, be very authentic.
Yeah.
Be very authentic. If we're talking about branding yourself and how you want to be seen, because that is important, especially if you're trying to grow social, you have to be very authentic. For me, I think that would help too. You're helping me unlock this as I talk about it. Is I remember recording myself talking to the camera and I would cuss and I would cuss. And it wouldn't be nothing crazy. I would use good vernacular, but at the same time, I would use just how I talk regularly.
Yeah. Yeah.
At the time, that wasn't really a thing, not from trainers at least. It wasn't a thing. And some people be like, watch how you talk on this app. And some people was like, damn, like I appreciate you telling me to rest, like I appreciate that message. So it would hit different. So I had to kind of like take a step back from the way I was putting myself out there because I understood how I wanted to be branded. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Especially
Yeah.
working with certain athletes and people. But yeah, I would definitely say be authentic to who you want to be known as. You know what I'm saying? And niche down, and that's pretty it in the scope of everything. Now there's a bunch of little intricacies in that, but yeah, man, like be authentic. Like everybody tries this thing where they see somebody do something that works and they try to do it. And I
Yeah.
see it all the time. People who want to grow their pages, I see it all the time. Ness, and
Yep.
it's just, I'm like, nah, man, you just got to do you. If you're boring, but be smart within your boringness. Like,
Mhm.
bro, just be yourself. Like everybody's
Yeah.
not, you know what I'm saying? So yeah, that right there.
Well, that's real talk. I mean, because being in DB space, and
Mm,
everybody's drills and this and that. I'm like, everybody's doing
mm,
drills. I
yeah,
said, nobody's talking about the why. Like, why are we doing this?
yeah,
I was like, you know what? I start putting it out there, but somebody was like, man, Ernest, you giving out a little too much. I said, the thing is though, people, if they don't understand it, they still won't get it though.
facts.
And I was like, that's why I can explain it. And then more people are actually relating. They was like, bro, I always either a coach or somebody was like, how you broke that down. Like, I never even thought about it, but it made sense.
Yeah,
And it's just like, all right, people connecting with that rather than just I can do drills all day. That stuff
right,
don't matter. It's the
right,
communication part of it though that people can't always get through. And it's like, all right, if I can just communicate this in another way,
yeah,
it's the same drill. Now I'm just giving some context to it to help
yeah.
you out.
Straight up that straight, and the way you be breaking shit down, bro. I love it. But like that, like, but to that point though, the way you took it and flipped it to where it's like everybody puts these attractive DB or receiver videos out. You know what I mean, of the cutting and the ASMR stuff, and it is cool. It's entertaining, but
Exactly.
bro, how you twisted it and was like, all right, let me break these things down. You know what I'm saying? Let me articulate these in ways that these athletes is gonna get it. That changes the narrative for everything, and it shows how, and it shows your intellect as well. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? And then it also spews out to, if a brand wants to work with you, you know what I'm saying? If Under Armour was like, that's who we need, that's who we need, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
that's how it goes though. That's how everything just goes. That's how everything shoots and starts off for you. That, yeah.
So, bro, what was the one moment you kind of hit on it, but what was the one piece of content or moment that shifted everything for you online? Because in person, you're not necessarily thinking about, hey, I'm trying to do this online. I'm just wanting to market myself. But what was that one moment though? You was like, bro, I'm limiting myself just in this area. I can now, like you're international now.
I would say, because I remember this was back in like 2019. This was before COVID. This was before COVID, and I was like really just trying to get my social to pop. You know what I mean? I'm putting out videos. This is every single day. I'm recording, I'm training, I'm putting out videos when I go home. And it was like, if I scroll down and see it, I'm gonna laugh my ass off if I see the video. But it took off though. It was like some video that was showing my brother, and he was playing quarterback at the time. I was showing him do practical things that related from the field, the position of quarterback, evading defenders in a pocket. And I showed him doing that. You know what I'm saying?
Mhm.
And we was trying to doing it. And that piece, that took off. That took off. Didn't think nothing of it when we were doing it either. It was just something we were genuinely doing. And he had a great season. But that took off right there. And it was just like, okay, cool. And I remember people from all over was seeing it. Didn't get a million views, but it got a lot though. It got like
Yeah.
thousands of views, high, like for sure 6 digits.
Yeah.
And from there, I got some follows from there, and then I still hadn't even hit the 10K mark. Like I wasn't even high. And I put out another video like that, but for a different sport because I
Mhm.
seen it worked. So I'm like, all right, bet. I'm about to show myself doing it with. It was probably either baseball or soccer, one of the two. I think it was basketball. Anyways, I did it. That shit took off and worked, went viral, and everybody's seen it from different countries. And then it just, man, I just kept going from there, kept going. And all my videos got slightly better. And then once I got into and this was, keep in mind this is all outside in a 6x8 batting cage. You know what I'm saying? Like this is all outside too. So once I got inside my gym, it was over. It was like, okay, cool. Now I got something to work with. But
Nah,
yeah.
facts, facts. So, what can you say? What was a failure or setback that helped shape your success now as a trainer, as an entrepreneur?
Online, I'll give you two. Online and in person. Online, I would say a setback would be because I online I fail all the time. When it comes to videos that don't work, I fail a lot, and that's what people fail to realize. And it hurts my feelings too. Like
Mhm.
I have an ego about my shit, and when it doesn't do well, I feel bad, I feel embarrassed, and everything else. You know what I'm saying? But a setback would be not putting out my art. You know, bro, so many times and so many people, and I'm talking about millions because I know it's out there. So many people don't put their stuff out there because they feel like it won't be good enough or won't be received well. But you need to let the audience be the judge of that. You know what I'm saying? Bro, everybody else want to be creative just like you, but they scared to. You have enough courage to even get going on it. So I would say a setback for me used to be not putting my stuff out there as consistently as I should have in the past. And I was still going, I was grinding, bro. I was putting shit out all the time, but there was so many times where I left a lot on the table, man.
Yeah.
Even these days, now that my shit's big, now that my stuff's big, it's like I'm real careful about what I put out because I want every piece to pop. You know what I mean? And I don't want to have just 500 likes on my post. Now I want to have 6,000 every time,
Yeah.
10,000 every time. So for me, man, it's just being too cute and too careful about what it is that you put out. It needs to be however you want to frame it. I like my shit raw. I like my shit, uncut. Putting my stuff out there. It needs to be record, put it out, let God, let everybody else, let everybody be the judge of it. Let everything go. Let it go. You know what I
Mhm.
mean? And the reason I mention that as a big setback is because, dog, there's so many pieces of content, literal videos that have changed my life to where I posted a video that I wasn't gonna post. Next, can't make it up, and
Yeah.
DraftKings reached out to me to do a brand deal. I'm like, they was like, hey, we seen your video on, you know, which sport is the hardest, and we really loved it. Would you like to do a deal for the, as we do our Super Bowl campaign? I'm like, what? I wasn't
Mhm.
even gonna put the video out.
Yeah.
Only reason I put it out would just be, you know what I'm saying? Like, so shit like that. It's just, bro, these things can change your life. Put that shit out. So that's a big setback. That would be a big setback for me. In person, in person training I would say a big setback for me was not taking care of my body early on because when I first started out, we talked about how it was just constant day and night. We after, I mean, not really too much rest, right? Now, as I started to have so much responsibility for athletes, high school athletes and then Division 1 and pro athletes, it comes with a higher level of responsibility. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? And it didn't hit me until later, but it really does, man. Like these people's lives is on the line, and your lives is it's they're in your hands. So
Mhm.
literally though, like literally, and they're paying you and entrusting you with their shit to get them better. So it was like, okay, let me make myself more available because at the time, bro, I'll probably and I got we got kids too, so it was so hard juggling life and training and everything all at once and trying to run the business, post this video, do this. So for me, I would leave so much on the table. And I know I've left so much opportunity on the table by not being able to train some of the top athletes because I wasn't getting my rest like I was supposed to. You know what I'm saying? But that's due to running the business, running the family, and everything else. But
Yeah.
yeah, man, not taking care of my body,
Yep.
not respecting myself and my job the way I should have. You know what I'm saying? All these things set me back. I'm talking about dog. It'll be an NFL dude or 3 high school athletes that's really serious about the game who want to train that I really wanted to train, but I
Mhm.
couldn't because I had to cancel the sessions because I didn't get sleep or I didn't take this serious enough. You know what I mean? So all
Yeah.
these things have happened, bro. I bumped my head so many different times. So yeah.
Now that's facts, bro. That's you just share some game right there, man. That's
Yeah.
big. That is
Yeah.
big. A lot of people they think it's you just show up, but man, there's so much you gotta deal with. And like you said, we got families, we got kids, and it's not
Yeah.
easy. It's definitely not easy, man.
Yeah.
So, bro, I want to change lanes, bro, because you've been on this journey of wanting to dunk.
Yeah.
So please explain where this desire came from, because I'm pretty sure everybody wants to dunk, but you like, hey, I'm going to document this. I'm going to show everybody this journey, and then explain the journey thus far.
So the initial idea came from wanting to create content, right? But it all took care of itself to where I was like, look, I'm sitting in the house and I had already been doing some crazy jumps. You know what I'm saying? Been doing some crazy jumps, and I would jump on a car, and then I was at UCLA and I did this crazy box jump as an intern, and they recorded it, and like that shit went crazy. And so those type of videos, bro. Bro, my shit wasn't popping. I just remember creating those type of videos. I'd be like, hey, can you record me jumping on this real quick? And I would jump on the box, and everybody would be like, what the fuck? And so all this kind of tied into each other. So I remember like, damn, how can I grow my stuff? And then also, how can I show the practical use of what I teach.
Yeah.
So I'm like, okay, I'm gonna show through stability and all these different things that I coach that I was able to get myself to go from a 26-inch vert to a 40-inch vert, right? So I was like, all right, all this shit about to tie into together, and it's gonna get a lot of attention because nobody my height is doing that. So bet. So I'm like, all right, cool. So I took it there. That's where the initial idea came from. That's how I thought about it. So I was just trying to grow my shit, and prove that I knew what I was talking about as well. So that happened. This was back in like 2021, I want to say, or late 2020, but probably 21. And back to what I was just talking about, how I wasn't respecting my body. I was training real good, doing my thing. I was making crazy progress. And, I was grabbing rim, which was a big deal for me, huge deal. I'm 5'4". So it was just like, damn, I'm really up there consistently. And
Mm-hmm.
I just wasn't getting enough rest. But it's so hard being a trainer while trying to train a dunk. Bro, it damn near can't. It can't. Those two can't coexist because I put my body through fire on a daily
Yeah.
basis, 5, 6 hours at a time. So, anyways, trained on and off for 2021, took a break because I was just beat up. 23, took a break, and now I'm back at it, right? So now that I'm back at it, I'm like kind of pacing myself, but now I'm the furthest I've ever been, dog. I got to dunking a tennis ball, right? I slammed that down. That was easy. For me, that was a huge deal. I'm like, okay, I'm slamming the tennis ball down easy. Now that segueing from that to the mini basketball, I can't get that down yet. It's just too big. But
Yeah.
I mean, I'm trying to get that. But to answer your question of how the process has been, bro, it's been strenuous. It's been very difficult and hard, but it's been eye opening to the things that I teach. Eye opening to putting myself back in the athlete's shoes and where they're at in terms of how hard they want to work to where they want to get to, because I'm understanding the psychology behind, they're grinding, like they really want to work hard, but it's hard to not work hard when somebody else is out there working. Like, so I'm like really putting myself in all these situations, and I'm like, yeah, just learning a lot about it. And but it's been going good, bro. I'm like, I want to say I've increased my vertical by at least 10 inches. That's at the least, if not more. I'm almost there. Will I dunk? I really don't know. I really don't know. I'm trying to though. I don't know.
Nah, bro. I definitely, man, definitely want you to do it, bro. I mean,
Yeah.
at the end of the day, regardless of what it is, however it plays out, I think it's genius just of how you come up with the concept. Because I was just talking to my kids, you are still relevant because they can relate. They be like, he's going through the same process as me, but he's also
Mm,
training me. So he
yeah.
understands, like you said, he understands what it is. And
Yeah.
once they see you, regardless, like I said, regardless of the end result, they see the progression. Like, I
Yeah.
want that. He gets
Yeah.
me. So they see
Yeah.
that, and that's the best thing is when you can get the result for yourself in real time rather than you going off of when you was younger or something like that.
You just made me. You saying that just really like made me want to do something else with this whole thing. It kind of inspired me right now because I get so discouraged at times just with dog. Like that shit's so hard. Like
Mm-hmm.
it's so hard, and people think just because I can jump high, I should be able to dunk. I'm like, bro, do you see how little? You see how little I am? But nah, like that right there. You saying that how people. There is a lot of people who correlate to where I am right now, just
Yeah.
in terms of height, or they just can't jump as high, and they struggling and they want to know how to train for it, how to develop their vert, etc. So yeah, you just I just thought about like 6 different things right now. I'm happy you said that. I'm like,
No, bet, man, bet. So I kind of, I want to ask you two more questions, and then anything you want to possibly ask me or whatnot. But um, what kind of legacy do you want to leave, rather as a trainer or just someone as a leader in our culture?
Bro, for me, when it comes to the legacy part, because I didn't start thinking about this until probably a few years ago. Like, it didn't really cross my mind, and I haven't thought super deep about it. But when it comes to the legacy that I want to leave, and I've thought about this with my kids and just interpersonal relationships, but when it comes to what I built, I sometimes forget how big my stuff is. You know what I mean? Just from Instagram, TikTok, and YouTube, and how many people like that's when I'm out and about and somebody see me, they're like, "Oh, bro, you the trainer."
Yeah.
I'm like, "Damn!" It throws me off, and it just I'm full of humility, and I just I appreciate. I'm so grateful for it. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? And I forget just how big my shit is. But the legacy that I want to leave, I want to show, and I want to answer it carefully. I really, really want to show and be an inspiration for the people who are trying to do it.
Hmm.
Like when I say that, I really do mean it. Like for the people who were in or are in tough spots in a life, and they're trying to figure out, how to get from A to B, and it's tough. You know what I mean? I want to show, and this is why I not consistently, but I've told not my story, but I've told people about the situations I've been in a lot because, bro, I am no different. I'm absolutely no different from the guy who wants to start a career in training. I'm no different from the guy who's trying to chase his dream to get to the league in NFL, MLB, NBA. I'm absolutely no different from it. You know what I mean? I just so happen to work my ass off, be real intentional about the way I go about it. I didn't just work hard and that's it. Nah, I worked hard, studied my field, studied the game, and from there, here I am. You know what I'm saying? So to answer the question of the legacy that I want to leave, bro, I really want to be a stable for the people who are trying to make something of their lives, of themselves, and be something that their families and their kids can be proud of. You know what I'm saying? And just through the bad things that I was naming, how I just told you, there's been so many times where I've left so much on the table because of I was just fucking up. You know what I mean? To simply put it, I was fucking up. And I want people to learn through all the downs that I've had, especially all the downs that I've had, that, bro, like everything is going to be okay. Like everything is going to be okay. You know what I'm saying? Like I just I want to be that guy. I want to be that guy that people could look to like, okay, he did that. You know what I'm saying? I could follow his blueprint
Hmm.
and, and make some shit of my own,
Yeah.
you know?
So I want to ask, what is your favorite drill thus far that you have or you've been using?
Somebody just asked me that. I was streaming live last night. Somebody just asked me that. So I gotta break it in two. So when it comes to injury prevention, I would say it's this ISO hold. It's an ISO hold like this, and they're on their ankles. All right,
Uh
they're
huh.
holding it on their ankles, and they're sitting on their knees. And I have every single athlete of every single sport do it, no matter what. I don't care what they play, and they could even be a swimmer. But I have them do this. It's the best thing for eliminating muscle imbalances. It's the best thing for identifying which leg is weaker. It's the best thing for strengthening the leg on its own, as opposed to relying on your heavy leg to bail your weaker leg out by doing a two-legged exercise. So I love that exercise. Isometrics is that's like some of the best shit you can do. You know what I mean? Um, that's injury prevention. Now, apart from that, when it comes to explosiveness, there's a more complex answer to it, but to simply put it, I like plyometrics, box jumps.
Hmm.
Huge on box jumps, but intentionally do it. Like I'm not talking just jumping on the box and just jumping down. It's like, nah, let's approach this, and I'll give you a practical example. Like with my athletes, I'll come in. We always have a session throughout the week within our training splits where we focus on maxing out our explosive threshold through box jumps, right? So we're boom. We're bringing it up 2 inches every time, every time, every time. Wherever he caps out at, We're gonna max that out. We're gonna try to jump that at the very least 3 times, at the most probably 6 to 7 if he can get
Yeah.
it. And if he can jump it 6 to 7 times, he can go up 2 more inches. So we maxed out that explosive threshold, and from there we kind of progress and we just take it from there, week by week. But to be able to teach your body how to max out, how to jump, how to apply force in a faster, at a higher rate of force production, that right there, that's my favorite plyometric.
Nah, bet, man. I actually want to ask another question. This is more business related.
What's up?
Uh, so you talked about, brands working out with you and you starting to do some brand work.
Mhm.
Have you figured out how to maneuver that? And when I mean maneuver, as far as like, okay, I see you guys are offering this, but I want to negotiate something different. And
Mm,
then how do you go about that? Or are you reaching out to people that you want to connect with, or is
crazy.
it all just coming to you?
That's crazy you asked that. Okay, I'm glad you asked that. For me, the first part, okay, so okay, I got you. So I've been through over the past few years, because it got crazy over the past, like we in 25, like 23, starting in 23, the brand deals started to pick up.
Hmm.
So with the brand deals, I didn't even have my email in my bio, or probably I would have had a lot more. But just put my email in my bio. Right when I did, I started getting a lot of offers. And they would email me, right? And so at the time, I mean, bro, like I said, I'm no different from everybody else. A brand came at me. I want to say it was Under Armour. I mean Body Armor, the drink.
Hmm.
And they just offered me some money, and I took it right away without negotiating, without showing like, hey, I'm getting 300,000 views on my shit. Like I'm worth way more than $1,000. You
Yeah.
know what I'm saying? And then after looking how much people was getting paid per post, I'm like, oh, I left so much. And this is with multiple brands. I was sick when I seen it, because I was like, why are these brands agreeing so easily to my rate? Or like, I was really confused, but I wasn't tripping because I was just working with these brands. So I'm like, all right, something's not right. I remember sitting to myself after I finished something, because I worked real hard on this brand deal. It must have been for Body Armor or Smart Water, because both came at me, and I did a deal for both, and they were both wonderful to work with. They were both amazing to work with, and I'm just like, and I'll be transparent with my numbers too. And this was back then. This was like 2 years ago. Like Body Armor must have paid me like, I did one post. It was a one post campaign for them, and it was just like $2,000 or some shit.
Hmm.
And I was just like, cool. It was cool money at the time for me. And I'm like, all right, whatever. And I'm thinking though, Ness, I'm like, it's just something's not right. Something's not sitting right. And so after that campaign, I was just looking up like the going rate for shit, and then I found like some creator talking about it, a few creators, and it, bro, they're doing. It was creators lower than me at the time. I
Yeah.
probably had like 300,000, 400, like 300,000 followers, right? High 300. Creators lower than me was charging 5,000 for a post, and I'm just like, okay, let me shift my whole everything. But when it comes to the brands coming at me, man, yeah, they hit me up first. They usually hit me up first, and we talk rates and stuff. And the negotiation aspect, that has been something where I had to learn, just as even as a man, there's a fine line between respecting yourself and then having this crazy ego. Because I'm like, look, yeah, you want to be able to walk away or leave money on the table and know your worth, but at the same time, bro, you got a family to feed, and it's a blessing to get paid for just putting out some content. You
Yep.
know what I'm saying? So like I had to really sit back and like understand that. So it was like, all right, bet I'm gonna negotiate. If I feel disrespected with the number, I'll walk away. If I don't feel disrespected and we can work something out, cool. So
Yeah.
I remember my first time walking away. And that's, I walked away from like, must have been like 2,000, because the people, they wanted me to post like 4 or 5 posts,
Yeah.
and
Yep.
I'm just like, bro, I just told you my rate is like 4,000 for a post. Why would I do that if I generate like 6 to 800,000 views? You know what I'm
Hmm.
saying? Like it just didn't make sense. And they
Yeah.
and they knew that, and they were disrespecting me. They were. Like I could tell by their tone too. And I walked away from it. But the negotiation, man, negotiation, understanding the psychology behind that, that has been a journey in its own. Also, speaking up for yourself. So building this platform, because I didn't think, I always felt like a not an asshole, but I always felt like I felt weird about reaching out to a brand and saying, "Hey, would you guys like to pay me for a post?" I just don't. It makes me cringe, right? But then it got to this point, and that's where, bro, I was drinking. I was eating actually flame broiler, right? And for those who don't know, flame broiler is a chicken and rice spot that's local in on the west coast, and real good place. I like it a lot, healthy. I'm eating it, and I'm like, well, I checked their Instagram, low follower count. I'm like, huh, well, they could use my help. You know what I'm saying? I love them. I always eat there. So I started DMing. I DM'd everybody. I DM'd muscle milk brands that I drink, all these brands that I mess with, and some started getting back to me, bro. I was like, there's no way these people gonna pay me after me reaching out to them, right? Man, that's came. You know about Movita?
Nah.
Nah, so Movita, same. They like Jamba Juice and all that, Robex and everything. Bro, I done messaged so many different brands to where they love my stuff, man. I'm like, hey, love your stuff. It's kept it a band though. I'm like, hey, love your stuff, eat or drink it all the time. Would you guys be interested in doing a campaign with each other? They'll hit me back right away. Like, yup, what's your rates? Bro, I'll send them my rates and we'll tie down a deal. You're like, bro, I just got done filming for a sauna brand. The Movita thing I just brought up, which is a big juice bar out from California, Washington, and all that. And some other little shit, some other little fitness brand. But yeah, man, just reaching out to brands, opening my mouth and building a platform and enabling that possibility to happen, bro, has been yeah.
See, I don't think people. I understand it. I do it more so for my kids, for
Okay.
my athletes. But
Yeah.
the thing that you just said, because I say this to my athletes, I said, fellas, you guys are playing this game out of passion. The higher you get, especially college now, this is it's always been a business. Don't
Mhm.
take it personal. That's what I
Yeah.
had to realize.
Yeah.
And when you understand, that's why I'm happy for the kids getting paid in NIL now. It's not necessarily that they're getting paid, which they always should have been paid. Is because now you have to learn business much faster, much earlier.
Yeah.
So you have to conduct yourself as a business owner rather than an athlete. So normally by the time you become an NFL, you like, oh, I gotta think business. No, I gotta think business now. And
Yeah.
now when people approach you, you be like, you know what? You're you actually winning by me showing up, or you actually win by me doing this. How do
Yeah.
I get compensated on the end? And
Exactly that.
so, and it's and people when people do try to negotiate, you gotta understand it's not that it's trying to be a win-win for both sides. They're not going to tell you that their budget is this amount. They'll just tell you the price.
Yeah.
And people will get upset about it because it's like, oh man, they do being disrespectful. No, mind you, that's what they can do. They're just not saying it to us, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
They're not saying it to us because they might either pay somebody else that, or they're like, you know what, we'll come back at another time. But they gonna try you because we gonna do the exact same thing with other people. If
Mm-hmm.
we was bargaining with somebody like, man, hey, let me get this for $20, man. It's normally for man, I got 20 for you. You gonna do the
Yeah.
exact same thing. You
Yes.
don't you don't think it's personal at that time, but when it
Exactly.
comes to us, so we need to understand business as trainers, as entrepreneurs, and understand nothing is personal at the end of the day.
Mm.
Just figure out what value you can offer and how it makes sense. And then once you do that, because sometimes people they might see a brand or a partnership, but they really don't see the value until you communicate it. They be
Yeah.
like, you know what? That actually makes more sense now that you say I can see why you would think this amount. We never thought about that. We only thought about it like this. We only thought short term.
Yeah.
So, man, we all learn and we all growing, bro. And I'm extremely happy for you, bro.
Thank
Um,
you. It's for real,
I
man.
I haven't done this in a while, but if you have any questions for me, or if you just want to share something for the audience, as far as uh, some gems that you want to share or anything like that, bro.
What's your I have a question for you. What's your like end goal with everything as far as, your media, your training and everything? What's your end goal?
So it's funny you ask this because I've been having this conversation lately. The whole thing with me now, I've gotten to the point where I have really been almost away from the camera. Like I just
Mhm.
wanted the work to speak for itself. Like people who know me, they know like Ness knows what he's talking about.
Mhm.
And I
Yeah.
felt a certain way because I'm like, why people, once again, I was taking it personal, why people training with them, but then I realized people don't know me.
Yeah. Yeah.
And that's when I was like, okay, I have to put myself out there. What is different from everybody else? What's different from everybody else for me? And this is what players have. They was like, Coach, you explain things to make it simple. So I was like, all right, I'll be on camera more often than me building my personal brand
Yeah.
because I know there's not a lot of people who can also articulate and communicate like I can. Like
Mhm.
I have this conversation and me and Darnay we talked about it. He's like, Ernest, you do a good job of you're not just a athlete. You're not saying you're an athlete. You do all these other things, but you tie it in all together. I'm like
Yeah.
we're all more than an athlete. And once you understand that you can do multiple things and be multiple people all at a certain time
Mhm.
and bring it all together. Like I love having these conversations.
Yeah.
Now, you be like, oh, what does it have to do with football? My audience, they now get to see something else that they never would have gotten to.
Mhm.
But at the
Yeah.
same time, what people don't understand, it also shows the people I know. So now it's like, man, Ernest knows this person, he knows this
Mhm.
person. I want
Mhm.
to get in contact with him.
Yeah.
So it's like I'm bringing everybody together, whether people know it or not. But at the same time, I'm also showing my add value,
Yeah.
regardless of now. If a business, they're like, why would we want to do business? I'm connected with them. I'm connected with them. We can do something all together. I didn't see it like that.
Mhm.
See, you was looking at our nest just as an individual. Now,
Yeah.
some we can I can bring everybody together, and
Yeah.
I can sit back. I don't need to be a superstar.
Yeah. That's real.
So
I
that's
love
how
that.
it is for me. Just understanding, being my lane, and seeing what everybody's good at, and bringing everybody together. But the thing about it,
Mhm.
that was my whole goal from the beginning when I started my
Mhm.
business.
Okay.
That was my whole goal. I wanted to bring a network of people together, and mainly I wanted to be people in our area, and I
Mhm.
wanted everybody to do what they did best, and they only did that and focus on that,
Yeah.
not all the other parts of it. Let's all come together and collab and just build on it together. Because
Yeah.
ultimately, like you said, my whole thing is I wanted to get a gym as well. I
Yeah.
never ever shared this with nobody. I wanted to get a gym and I envisioned it as well. But I was like, let me build it a certain way because now I'm understanding financing. Though I understand like I don't need money now. I just need to connect with people
Mhm.
who actually has the funds or
Yeah.
already has the facilities, and I'm going to bring it with me, and we're going to just be able to do it anywhere and everywhere.
Yeah. Straight up. Exactly that. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Shit, yeah,
So
that's all I had, man. But now you covered everything, bro. Like just in terms of like the questions you had, I love. You know what I mean? I was able to break down a lot. I love teaching the aspects of when it comes to business, within just building your social and how to conduct yourself on that end and really just going as opposed to just having that analysis paralysis and
yeah.
you know what I'm saying? And also when it comes to the athletes, that whole part what we talked about when it comes to overtraining, like the bro, and I stand by that, and I always will. Like you can't put yourself in this position where your body's compromised, bro. You can't do it. I've been talking to every single athlete that I have, bro, day to day basis. All of them talk. I trained this NBA dude. He just got done being in the summer league, and his whole thing was, especially hoopers, since there's it's not too much contact in that sport,
Mhm.
bro. They're hooping. They're on the court. They're in the gym. This is day to day basis, 2 times a day, every day because they can, right, bro? And he was just like, man, he was like, Adonis, bro. He said it was so hard for me to not. for me to not train 2 times a day or not train every day. He was like, dog, my body feels better. We just talked about this. Isaiah Mobley. Y'all can hit him up and ask him too.
Oh,
We just asked him. I mean, we just talked about this. He was like, bro, my body feels so much better with the fact that I'm able to go harder in my workouts because I got a little bit more rest. And it's not that he's bro, the month he works so hard in the gym with me, he works his ass off. And then he goes out to where he does his hooping at on the court and he works his ass off. It's just now on that Thursday where it's late in the week, your body's wore down from Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, instead of getting up and trying to thug it out and do all this grinding, it's like, nah, I'm gonna just stretch today. I'm gonna stretch. I ain't stepping a foot on the field, on the court, in the gym. I'm gonna let my body rest. That way, Friday you could come back and see results and get the results that you're trying to work for. Look, if you work on that Thursday, you work on that Friday and that Saturday, bro, your body's operating at 20% and you will not get back. I'm telling you, you can be tough all you want, but your body's not developing the way you want it to. So yeah, that's my main thing, Los. I'm so passionate about that because man, I be seeing so many athletes ruin their career over it. And I don't like it. I'm not a fan of it. So
nah, facts, facts. For those who aren't they are under a rock and don't know, your social media. Where can people find you at, bro, on
uh,
social media?
Adonis Harrison, Adonis, Adonis dot Harrison, Harrison on Instagram and TikTok and YouTube too. Yeah, you'll find me on YouTube if you just type my name. So yeah, man, you can follow me on there, bro. I'll be posting videos daily basis, you know what I'm saying? Posting videos daily basis on everything. So yeah, I try to help and just spew out information from a talking standpoint, from a training standpoint, and then letting you see it from a practical application with other athletes because I'm extreme because I can jump really well and do these things really well. So I try to give y'all people who, are at the stages you guys are at to where, you guys are still trying to learn how to jump a certain way, how to change direction, do certain things. So I let y'all see it through my clients and how they struggle or how they're having success. So yeah.
Nah, facts, facts. And we got something for y'all as well. I'm just waiting on Bug to come through. But we got something for those guys who are DBs at the same time. Also want to be more explosive.
Yeah.
Be able to get out of their breaks, be able to jump out of the gym, whatever you want to say. So me and Bug, we got something together, and we'll
Yeah.
be dropping that very soon for you guys. So you guys be on the
Yes.
lookout, man, for that. It's gonna be very special.
Yes, for a fact.
Very special, man. But Bug, man, appreciate you, bro, for your time. Always love, man. And let's keep doing the
Bro.
good work.
Thank you. Hey, no less. Thank you for having me, bro. I'm serious. Like this is like I really do feel honored. I'm happy that you know what I mean, and I'm mad that I kept pushing it off. You know what I'm saying? Kept pushing it off. But thank you for being persistent and having me, bro. Like I thank you.
Nah, always, bro. Always, man. You always know it's love, bro.
Yeah.
Always.
All right,
All right,
Ness.
fam.
I get at you.